Hello and welcome back to 2 Point Museum. I'm Ivory Toucan, and for our speed build today we are back in Memento Mile for part 4 of our rebuild series. So for those new to the channel, this is part of our bigger rebuild series where we're designing the perfect museum from the ground up in every single museum, fitting them mostly to a certain theme. This, however, is our museum of everything, so I've been going through and curating and working out what works well together and just adding it all in here basically. As a note, we've been doing this redesign and rebuild for each of the museums, so if there is a specific museum you're looking for inspiration on, just be sure to subscribe and check out the playlist for all of the others so far. Now, for today's episode, we've got another big one following on from part 3, where this one is essentially redesigning the redesign. Basically, I wasn't quite happy with how everything turned out from the last episode, plus we've had the new Zooseum DLC drop since recording of that as well, and I wanted to factor in and blend that in within the rest of this museum. So I thought it was best to basically rip the band-aid off now, because at the end of the day we are looking to design the perfect museum, and that includes all the content within the game itself. A quick warning though, the first 9 minutes do jerk around quite a bit because I had to speed it up to kind of help with getting this video together. So if you do suffer with a bit of motion sickness, I'd suggest skipping ahead to about the 10-minute mark. I promise you're not missing much, it's just the staff area, and I'll make sure to showcase it properly in the live play bit too. With that all said, grab yourself a cup of tea, sit back and enjoy the sweet sounds of 2 Point Radio. We're all about keeping our builds here nice and relaxed, so I'll see you all in the live play soon.
If you need more cash and fewer questions, then you need Swindles. Other loan companies will have you jumping through hoops. But we're here to make sure our sky-high rates are in reach for everyone. Swindles. It's so easy. It's like you're robbing us. Curses, curses, curses. We've got things you can buy, and they're all absolutely awful. And again. New to the Cheesy Gubbins family of snacks, Cheesy Gubbins Zero. 0 calories, 0 cheese. 0 actual point.
when others get you down. When you just can't stand being around people. You need Go Away Holidays. With over 20 remote, isolated destinations to choose from, we'll get you far away for total isolation and soul-nourishing silence. Go Away Holidays, voted Recluse's Getaway Provider of the Year.
this on the floor. Robo-janitor! Dryer on the fritz. Robo-janitor! The Robo-janitor is designed to fix absolutely everything, with some major exceptions. Oh, Robo-janitor, what would we do without you?
You would live in your own filth.
Yes, I suppose we would. Robo-janitor, coming soon from Bungle Technologies. thick jungle. A mountain with no head. And endless sand from the beach to the shoes you only wore once.
Oh, it's happened again.
Visit Pebbly Island. Paradise is only a stone's throw away. Under this ceaseless sun, the vegetation thrives, but everything we have is spoiled. Return to a world of legend and lamb chops with even bigger steaks. The greengrocer grows too strong. Age-old enemies will meet again. You can't stop him this time! Meat Wizard! Meat Wizard and the Rotten Beef, coming eventually to the Bungle Button Master, where the games be happening.
new to the Crumley non-meat, non-veg, non-taste range. It's Crumley Crumb Pie. A delicious crumble base packed with sumptuous powdery breadcrumbs and topped with Crumley's patented mix of singed butter, sugar and flour ensures each mouthful is packed with stodgy blandness.
Oh.
So don't settle for crumbs. Have a Crumley Crumb Pie instead. Just like Mama used to make.
message from 2 Points Department of Culture. Every day, the county's museums are finding new exhibits.
Wow.
And learning more and more about everything. Oh, I see. No, sorry, one more time. Visit a 2 Point museum today. Enlightenment starts here. Before you buy a new boiler, stop. Get the Pumpatron 6000 heat pump instead. Simply strap yourself in and start pumping. The more you pump, the more you feel the burn. Double bonus! The Pumpatron 6000. You'll get so warm pumping it up, you won't even have to turn it on. Holistics took roughly 20 of the most expensive ingredients on the market and said, hey, what's not to like? With that many ingredients, it's bound to help you. The whole you, any way you want. It's a fragrance. It's an engine coolant. It's a Holistics lifestyle.
love Milkmaid milkshakes, then you'll lap up the new Milkmaid flavoured milk range. A crazy concoction of flavours that'll have your taste buds purring for more. Single cream, double cream, half cream, clotted cream. You won't believe the variety of flavours on offer. Milkmaid flavoured milk. Now that's good milk.
Not technically milk. Imagine a place filled with things you could never afford. Whoa! Countless, priceless artifacts from every corner of the world. Oh, locked away for safekeeping. Well, keep imagining. Oh, Jumbo Museum. The museum for big spenders. Don't sweat through the fiery days of summer. Fight back and relax with the Frost Dragon cooling system. It's a breath of fresh, frozen air. Keep your friends cold and your extremities colder with the Frost Dragon cooling system. Coming soon from Bungled Technologies.
you hear the grease saturating your food as it cooks? Can you feel your arteries clogging as you eat? Then degrease your diet with the Bungle Wind Oven. Now with 50% crispier air for that patented Bungle crunch. The Bungle Wind Oven. Cut the fat, not the crunch.
Okay, well, welcome back to the new and improved Memento Mile. And I have to say, I am very happy with how this has turned out so far. And overall, the museum's running better. There's better access for both guests and staff. The rating for everything has gone up. Better entertainment littered throughout the museum as well. I mean, there's been a few bugs where some guests have been occasionally stuck walking up and down these stairs, which has impacted the general sort of rating of a few things such as like energy and food and drink and bathroom needs. But overall, we are doing squarely good into 91% rating there. Annoyingly, I think the toilets, if we just look at the overlays, where it says toilet 72, thirst and hunger. So a lot of the ones in the red, so for like the bathroom ones, are actually the robo security guards and janitors, which I feel like isn't quite right, because I've got the, close this down, we've got like the charging station here, the mod stop, and then the charger as well. So this should be stores the energy levels of staff robots, but I don't really see them using it. Oh, goblin. Right, hang on. Let's grab you. What are you doing? There we go. But either way, the museum is in a very good place. I've done a few little bits of like touching up here and there, so adding a few more like map boards. I've sorted out the pathway at the front here, a little bit around here. I haven't quite finished this, tidied up this building, but we've got a nice sort of path going along the outside of the museum. But yeah, anyway, back to the general feel of the museum. We've, you know, it's a lot more cohesive. It feels a lot more creative as well. And I really had a lot of fun with doing this as well. Kind of went wild with a few ideas. And just, you know, doing that bit more world building and just expressing our own sort of like style and mind, sort of like ideas a bit more as well. So what we'll do is we'll start with, I guess, the staff area that I mentioned was a bit... There's lots of jumping around in the speed build section just because there was lots of moving around with the buildings and the changing of the angles. So this is the new and improved staff area. I've reduced the size of the cafe to this little one here to help with opening up the walking access for not just the staff but for guests, such as this area where guests can filter in a bit more easily down here. We've only got the one analysis room because I'm at the point where a lot of the exhibits I have are pretty much pristine and full knowledge. Say that one's there. I still yet to find pristine on that one. But, you know, most of them are close to full knowledge, and if I'm not getting them in this museum, I'm grinding them in other museums anyway. So, you know, so I think it works out there. We've got a bigger marketing room. We've, like I said, a smaller cafe. Let me just check this is maxed out, upgraded. No, it's not. Let's upgrade that then as well. And then let's check the bandage boxes. They can have a slot for another perk. Perfect. So we're getting there. We're doing really well. This is nice. 2 map stands. I don't know if I need both of these, but from the symmetry side of things, it works. I might get rid of this banner because that's a bit too close, isn't it, as well? But that's just a little thing. I've also done a little bit outside here. Not quite sure what I wanted to do without this area, but I think that's fine how it is, and we'll leave it like that. Don't want to go overboard with the decorations. And yeah, I think that's kind of worked out quite nicely. I think then what we'll do is we'll follow the path of what we did with the speed build. So we'll go to the botany section next, and we will look at the new blended botany area, which we have some fantasy and the supernatural exhibits down here in this little witch's coven. And this was just really fun to do, and I really liked how this has turned out. Works really nicely with these 3 exhibits together. You've got some spookiness going in the background with some of the mushrooms, the candles, the floating books, and just kind of how it all sits nicely within the forest area. The pumpkins are good as well. These new info boards are just really great at keeping things kind of compact. So rather than having the taller info boards, I know you can have like a small one here. It just feels a bit nicer having something, the option to do something a bit different there. And then on this side we added in the scarecrow over here. I've just dumped this here. I'm kind of not really sure what I want to do with this, if I want to even have this exhibit, not this exhibit, this interactive area here. And we just kind of done a bit more variation with the flooring as well, just kind of expanded that out a little bit, and just rather than just being so rigid, just kind of done something a bit different. Same over here. Kind of forgot about this bit, if I'm honest. But we have the troll statue in the middle, which used to be just where this used to be, basically in the middle. And I think it kind of works still having that there. We've got staff and guests that can still walk on the left side as well as the right side, so it's not necessarily like obstructing too much. But it's that blend of both botany and fantasy and just the other exhibits just kind of help keep the museum a bit more compact. I am tempted to move some of these, like the prison ivy, into the prehistory jungle section we have on the left side of the museum, just to again keep things a bit tighter as we go round, because we've still got loads of exhibits to add in. I mean, we've got the space, the science, a few more fantasy, the supernatural, and a bunch of other things I've kind of got planned as well. Tidied up this bit. We've moved the gift shop over. We've got rid of one of the bathrooms. Changed some of the flooring for this jungle area here. We've added in the temple troll, just kind of little, just to kind of just vary it up a little bit more. And then what we might do, I might go to the cave section first. We will then dart back over. I know that's probably not the best way, but we'll do it in terms of how we've gone about doing the video. So I've tidied up this prehistory section. I've added in another exhibit onto the desert side, but we had a little bathroom here, so I've extended this out a bit bigger, because rather than having like 3 little bathrooms we've now got 2 bigger ones for the guests, and then just a little one at the entrance over there. But just changed some of the flooring, added in some new plants from the wildlife from the Zooseum DLC, the wildlife decorations, just to add that extra bit of colour throughout, as well as the lights, which are, I think, just one of my favourite things to kind of add. It just adds so much variation. There we go, and over here as well. But I absolutely love how nicely this has blended in with, with this jungle. It's prehistoric jungle, and then blends into this wildlife terrarium sort of section, basically. Yeah, just love it. So in the terrariums themselves, we've got like a nice blended one here with all the names from characters of Bluey. I just kind of customized name, and it was the first thing that came to my head. It's the joys of having a toddler. It's one of the first things he asked to watch, at least anyway. We've got the kiwi slug, which is from the new Digiverse Rift, added in here. And other animals we have are the Chameleon, and then we have the bearded lizard as well. I think over this side, here we go. A couple of cabin snails, and we've got a few snakes as well, just to kind of help add in additional buzz. We've got a few that aren't pristine, but that's fine. We can look at perfecting that as we go. And with the preserved history prehistoric exhibits, I've kept these kind of clustered together rather than spacing them out like they were in the previous room, which again, I think it worked quite nicely in the other version we had. But I think with blending in the newer exhibits like that. Look, this looks great. I love this blended in between the terrariums here. Just kind of brings it to life a bit more. That camera's not on. That's fine. We've got obviously some of the new stands as well, because it saves having an extra cafe, which I don't know if I'm going to add in a second cafe, because we had a second one up here in the previous version, but I'm in two minds of adding one, because these food kiosks kind of hit the spot, you know, and they're obviously smaller in size. Oh, so got some plants that are not doing too well over here. 49, 36. Where's my botany staff gone then? I did this the other day. They all went on break. Botany restoration, tours, botany restoration. Okay, so they're about. They're just. I need to get them leveled up so I can get the aerodynamics of the rest of them. 12, 13. Yeah. Okay. Right. Look at pushing those through some of the exhibits. Through some of the points of interest, even where you can boost staff level. And then back over here, we've got obviously the new bathroom, as well as the gift shop. Oh look, he's using the bathroom as a cut through. That's clever. I like that. Gift shop, 3 different entrances here. Nothing too exciting to bring home about. Kept it nice and small again, because we've got enough to kind of do this. 3 staff in here as well to help with restocking, because we were finding in the previous build with our gift shops that having 2 staff was having 1 going out and restocking all the items and stands, and then the queues would just back up so much. But this has helped massively with the money flow. I know it's decreasing at the moment, but it's been fluctuating like that for the last, I don't know, 2 years. In 2 in-game years I've been playing. It goes up and then goes back down. Oh yeah, and then we added in some of these over here. So we've got some grass choppers and the scarabs, as well as the sunbite snakes, and then the scorpion in here as well. So marine section, nothing too amazing here, but I've quite liked how this is blended nicely, because beforehand I had these quite separated and it just didn't quite feel right. But I've liked how this is blended together and become really a walk-through experience, rather than what it was before, which was just like it felt like it was its own sort of zone or room. But this feels a lot nicer. I've added in some swordfish. I was going to add in a bull shark here in this tank, but I couldn't quite get it to fit. We're having like 2 of each basically, and I didn't really want to make the tank any bigger, because again, I like how it's, you know, in line with the gift shop. It creates enough space in between that I guess can walk through and everything else. Is that right? Yeah, it's prehistory, but yeah, because that's prehistory. That's okay. And I've also just tidied up this area. We'll just quickly just dart over there. Tidied up the walkway. I might move these memorials outside if I'm honest, but I'm not sure. I've currently just plastered these on the wall, but I'm going to add those to the other section, I think to the science section we do in the next episode. Speaking of science, well, it's not science, is it? It's space. Speaking of different exhibits then, I'll go with that one. The space artifact here, I felt this kind of worked quite nicely within the aquatic marine life theme. It's not the highest quality, and obviously haven't got the lily pad pond decoration, but I think it kind of works. It's like I feel like what this game is missing is some statues as well, because I loved having sort of statues, but we literally have very few to choose from. So we've got Nutcracker, we've obviously got 2 new ones from the Zooseum DLC, and then if you have the Explorer ones, but they don't necessarily fit with really much else of like some of the other themes and how you kind of want to blend them together. This banner's here because I couldn't get this to line back up and it was really bugging me having a gap, so I've just put that there. But we've got, so we've got the tropical fish, temperate fish, we've got cold water fish over here, and then a few others, and I've added in these swim reapers, so I've got a second one to add into this area, and again added in some backdrops behind those tanks as well, so I'll kind of sell it a bit more. And in this section, I had so much fun doing this because inspiration kind of hit halfway through, and as I was scrolling through the inventory, picking out a few of the Wetlantis ones, and I saw some of these, and I was like, oh yeah, this would be quite nice to kind of blend these together. And I just rewatched Lord of the Rings over the Christmas break, and by the time I started building this, kind of got me thinking about like the Fellowship and the coming together of the different species. So I started to imagine this like ancient war in 2 Point County where the Wetlantians and like another fantastical race, maybe like the Goblin Army or something like that. The Warriors of 2 Point, we'll call them, because they're obviously got all of these here, like came together to rid the county of an evil, maybe like this evil coin, like the ring sort of thing.
But they were all of them deceived, for another ring was made.
And so then I kind of basically got this as like, this was like the forming of the Fellowship. So we have all the different artifacts and the different armors and everything from this ancient alliance. And then quickly before we dart across to the other side, I then just wanted to add in a few extra like seating areas. You can see staff and guests are using these. A nice sort of like interactive playground area, indoor play area, very kid friendly. And then this would be like another sort of like play thing. You have like these giant chessboards, and I've just kind of put these out and about. Might move that one forward to help mix it up a little bit. As you can see, it's still quite laggy with placing objects down, and I've cordoned this off for now, but this is where we've got the space. This is where the space section will be, but I'll go into that a bit further in the video. Darting back over here, we'll go to the fantasy side because this is what I imagined. So this is why the alliance between fish and man came together, because the great evil that tore through 2 Point County would have been this evil fanged sky demon, the dragon. Should probably give it a name. Let me know if you've got a good name for a dragon in the comments. But I wanted this section to feel a lot more immersive, so we have this full-on walkthrough sort of experience of what might have been back then. It's almost like the I can't say I rate them, but the Hobbit films where they have Smaug decimating the local villages. It's a similar sort of thing. We've got this pathway on this side, ruined houses, burnt and charred flooring, the use of like the supernatural trees, and then like the science twigs as well, just kind of add a bit more to that sort of charred and ruined aspect. And like this temple run is quite good there as well. Oh, I've moved this and I forgot to move it back because I was having some issues with flooring, and it's coming up. So yeah, put that back there. There we go. That's better. We have the dragon protecting its baby and gold, and then on the back here would be like a ruined castle, but I haven't gone overboard with this just yet, because once I've added in like the next section, we start working that forward, we can then look to maybe expand this out. But it works. I quite like it how it is. We've hit the decoration ratings with all buzz bonuses. I think we're kind of missing on because it's not complete, but I do quite like how it's a ripped banner, so I might not send out for this again, at least anyway. That camera is off. There we go. Back on. And then we have the staff access tunnel, and obviously staff are using it, which is nice. Speaking of staff access, we've got lots of good staff access through, there we go, just using that door there, through this area. which is the cave. Oh, hang on. Before we go on to the cave, actually, I should probably showcase the other side of the fantasy area. Apologies. Yeah, so we've got this, and then we've got the graveyard on this side of the poor villagers that had to suffer at the hands of the evil dragon. So that is this. I think it's great. I'm really happy with it. I don't know why that's blue. Oh, that would have been blue from before. I need to change that colour of the wall there. So yeah, staff. So yeah, back to where we were. The staff used these doors and through here because I've gone with a nice sort of tight cave system because I wanted something to feel a bit different, feel a bit claustrophobic, and just a bit more natural in that cave-like sense as well. So the cave wall paintings dotted throughout. Each of the different sort of cave rooms feel a little different as well. So we have the sort of like caveman ancient history room here. It is a real shame you cannot change the colour of the new like columns and the stalagmites as well. It's nice to kind of blend that better, but I think it kind of still works in terms of tying the entire sort of area together. But again, a little cave family at the back there. It's kind of nice just to have all of that in one area. Bathroom over there. These lights really, really do a great job of making this feel like a sort of cave, almost like a mining cave sort of thing. We then have the fossil room, making it feel like a bit more of like an excavation. Obviously we go past the terrarium. I've only got the fart bugs in here for now. Area around here. And then we have another cave painting. And then interactive displays dotted throughout. I love this window here, which shows the lanternfish. Because again, this is almost like another cave room. I did try and connect it up, but I couldn't quite get it to work through here with like decorations in terms of when I was kind of planning it out. And I was like, well, you know what, let's just make it a separate sort of area. But it still feels kind of connected in a way. And then we have the almost like the time jump room where you have like the time portal and a few other elements with the runes. This is not this cave. This one is not necessarily natural as it would be like the others. So again, just making it feel a little bit different compared to all the other rooms. And then lastly, we have the ice room. So I wanted this again to feel compact, like I said, like part of the cave area, and contrasting a lot more of the open areas of the rest of the museum. Like the fantasy section is quite open, but then you've got like the botany and like the prehistory is very open and sparse. So this is a lot more compact. And we have everything from wildlife to prehistory to botany. And I think, I did think about putting some of the space ones in here to activate this, but we kind of don't necessarily have the room for it. I've gone with the big feet in here as like they're like Yeti feet. I might just rename them Yeti feet or something to kind of play into that idea of some sort of massive abominable snowman thing going on here. And as you can see, I went a bit nuts with the flooring because it was quite tight with not just the exhibits but where decorations can be placed. I think we've got them all maxed out at least anyway, so that's fine there. So I thought, well, you know what, we'll use the flooring to elevate it a bit more. And that's why we've gone with quite a few shades of all the other new snow-like flooring. We've got like the ice flooring, we've got the new winter update flooring. There was one from the Zooseum DLC as well, so it's kind of lots to kind of play with and to make that feel a little bit more, well, unique, I guess, as well. I might change the wallpaper, I think, on this side at least, and then have that side as the vast open Arctic expanse. But that is where we've got to, and I think this has been a good episode. And again, I've just kind of went a bit crazy with the creativity. It took a while just because I wanted to make sure that the next episode after this one was adding new exhibits in, because again, this was just redesigning what we already had. And again, I think it was needed. Minus 97, okay. I think it was needed, and it feels a lot better. And I think the Zooseum DLC and adding in those animals kind of helped a lot more with just not just sparking that creativity and what can be done, because really we've only added in a little bit here, there, and then little things here over on the right side with the ice and the cave section. But it, you know, it sparked on like having a cave area. I thought, well, this could be quite nice to have a cave walk through sort of thing. So it kind of sparked a new sort of look in how we kind of go about everything. Don't think I'm going to add any more animals into the top half of the museum, because we're going to look to add some habitats at a later date outside in all the space on the top left. So in terms of what to expect in episode 5, we will do the science exhibits as well as some of the remaining fantasy ones, because we have quite a few fantasy exhibits, as well as, you know, the geodes and all those sort of ones there, and some of the supernatural ones, using that blend which I really liked in the previous episode, which was that blend of like science and fantasy together. And what we'll do is we'll blend that across into the Digiverse. A few exhibits there I think we're going to add in, which I need to go out and grab. Into finally the space section, I've got a really cool idea for how to kind of place that around. So I'm excited to kind of get to that. Might be a bit tight on space, so we might have to kind of think about how we do that. I might expand this out a bit more, actually. Can I expand that out? Do we have space? Oh yeah, plenty of space to kind of expand out there. So yeah, so I think we've got a good setup now for the next episode. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be the last episode of this, because I do want to add in a few habitat animals and possibly a few more terrarium animals as well, because I could probably look to add in a few more terrariums maybe throughout, maybe some smaller ones or something. We'll see. We could probably add, yeah, maybe one or two in the botany area, just to kind of help with boosting that buzz level, because it's going to be a factor going forward. Anyway, me rambling on there. Let's call it for this episode. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe. There is lots more 2 Point Museum content on the way. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.